Hi, this is Scott Wilson from Pearson. I'm going to walk you through the Kentucky training for Spring 2022 released item data files. So for Spring 2022 released items, the schools and districts receive data files that has information on each released item that was tested in their school and district. There is one data file at the school and district level and one of the student level. Each data file will have information on each of the released items. There are two spreadsheets. The spreadsheets contain two tabs. The first tab is labeled MC. This has the data for the multiple choice items. The second tab is labeled ER, MS, SA, and TE. This has the data for all the other item types, the extended response, multiple select, short answer, and technology enhanced. On the school and district data file, you will see the following information. We'll have the school code, district name, school name, the grade, the subject, the question ID, the KAS alignment, the objective, the item type, the number of students who took the item, the possible points, the percent correct, the average item score, and the percent each response was chosen, or the percent each score point was achieved. On the next few slides, I'm going to go through all of this information and kind of break it down to make sure that it's easy for everyone to understand. First off, the subject. This is pretty straightforward. This is the subject the item was tested in. Next is the question ID. This is a really important one. This corresponds to the item number on all of the materials that are posted on the Kentucky portal. So this question ID is how you will link up all of the stats, all of the anchor papers, things like that. I will go into more detail on that later in the presentation, but the question ID is very important and it will help you link up all of the material. The KAS alignment, this is the standard that the item aligns to. The objective, this is the item objective within the standard. The item types are listed here with the abbreviations so that you'll be able to know what item is what. Number of students. This is the number of students in the school or district that took the item. The possible points. This is the number of the possible points for the item. It does vary by each item type. So for example, multiple choice is 1 point. Multiple select are 2 points. Technology enhanced items can be 1 or 2 points. Short answer are 2 points. Extended response are 4 points. And on-demand writing is 8 points per trait. And one thing to note, grade 5 has 5 traits. Grades 11 or 8 and 11 have 6 traits. Also for the on-demand writing, this is a little different probably than we've done in the past. Originally, the on-demand writing was not scored at the trait level. So the number of points was 8 points for the whole on-demand writing raw score. Now that it is scored at the trait level, each trait is scored twice, once by our intelligent essay assessor and once by a human scorer. These two scores are combined for a total of up to 8 points per trait. If the two scores are non-adjacent, meaning more than 1 point difference, then a supervisor will score the trait a third time to determine the score. Again, previously, the on-demand writing was not scored by trait, but we think the move to trait scoring will provide a lot more information on the student's score. Next, we have the percent correct for multiple choice. And for multiple choice, the percent correct is the percent that selected the correct answer. So the percent that selected each incorrect answer will also be listed. So in the sample here, you will see it shows percent correct, 64%. The correct answer on this item is choice B, and that is also shows the 64%. Continuing with the percent correct, again, it is calculated differently depending on the item type. So we just talked about multiple choice. So for the other item types, the percent correct is computed by taking the mean score, multiplying that by 100, then dividing by the max points for the question. On the example here, you'll see the percent correct is 50. For this item, the mean score is 1. The max points is 2. So 1 times 100 is 100. Then 100 divided by the max points of 2 is 50. So the percent correct is 50%. Next, with the average item score for multiple choice. For multiple choice items, the average item score will be the same as the percent correct. So as you see here, percent correct 64, average item score 64. The average item score for multiple select, short answer, extended response, and technology enhanced items is calculated by taking the total number of points scored, dividing by the total number of students that took the item, and then that is rounded up. For example, 21% of the 42 students, which would be 9 students, got a score of 0. 62% of the 42 students, so that would be 26 students, got a score of 1. And 17% of the 42 students, which is 7 students, got a score of 2. So the total points would be 9 times 0 plus the 26 times 1 plus 7 times 2, or that equals 0 plus 26 plus 14, for a total of 40 points scored. Then you take the 40 divided by 42 and you get 0.95. Then the 0.95 is rounded to get 1. Next, we'll talk about the multiple choice percent for each response, and the multiple select, short answer, technology enhanced percent for each score point. So for multiple choice items, you will see the percent each response was selected. Again, going with our example that we had before, we knew B was the correct answer at 64. This also shows you that 20% of the students chose answer choice A, 9% chose answer choice C, and 7% chose answer choice D. For multiple select, short answer, and technology enhanced items, you will see the percent for each score point, score 0 through score 2. So the example here, you see 21% of the students got a score of 0, 62% got a score of 1, and 17% got a score of 2. For extended response percent for each score point and the on-demand writing percent for each score point per trait. You will see examples listed here. For the extended response, you will see the percent for each score point, score 0 through score 4. So in the example here, again, 24% have score 0, 34% score 1, 26% score 2, 16% score 3, and 0% score 4. For on-demand writing, you will see the percent for each score point at each trait. Again, remember that the on-demand writing responses are evaluated on the traits. So again, we talked about this earlier. There are multiple traits, I believe 5 for grade 5 and 6 for grades 8 and 11. And each score point or each trait will show the percent at each score point. All right, moving to the student data file. So the student data file will contain all of this following information. It's very similar to the district and school files, but a little bit different. So we have the district/school code, the district name, school name, the SSID, student's last name, first name, middle name, the grade. Again, the question ID, that question ID will be the same as the question ID for the items on the district and school data files. And that question ID also is the same as the item numbers that are listed with all of the information on the Kentucky portal. It also has the max points, the student scored, and the student response. Again, just to go in a little more detail, as I mentioned, that question ID that corresponds to the item number on the materials posted on the Kentucky portal. I will touch on that a little bit more on the following slides. The max points, this is the maximum number of points that a student could have scored. The student scored, this is the number of points that the student actually scored on the item. The student response, for multiple choice and multiple select, the responses that the student selected will be listed. So, and then for short answer, extended response, and technology enhanced items, this will be blank. All right, so addition to the data files that you received, there was also released item material that was released on the Kentucky portal. You can get to the Kentucky portal with this link here. When you log into the portal, you'll see this at the top of the screen, this blue heading. You will want to select released items. Once you select released items, you will see this screen. This screen shows the released items. You'll see every content listed with a drop down. And then when you click on the content, it will open up and show you the grades and information listed within that content. For example, this is the reading released items. The first thing that you'll see on all of the contents is this Kentucky released item information. This document contains a lot of important information regarding all of the released item information that is posted on the Kentucky portal. It will explain to you what all of the documents are that are listed under each grade. So in this example, we're in the grade 3 reading. So if you click on the grade 3 reading released items, which is the first item listed here, you will open a PDF of a test book with all of the items in test book format. When you look at an item, you will see the item number, and which is the same as the question ID. Again, this is that correlation to help you take the data from the data files and connect it to the actual items. So that question ID will be in the upper left-hand corner of the item. The item number will be followed with an underscore and then another number. The number after the underscore is the answer key for that item. So this slide shows what I just explained. So in this example, the item number is the RE012946148. And the answer key is 2 or B. You'll see that circled here with the underscore and the number 2. The answer keys will correspond accordingly on the side here. And again, the item number that is listed will be the same as the question ID that is listed on the data files. Now, if on that same grade 3, instead of clicking on the test book, if you click on grade 3 combined stats, you will open a PDF that has 2 tables for each released item. One will be the overall item performance, and one will be the item breakout statistics. You will see the item number again listed at the top of each table behind the word item. So again, in this example, we have the same item number that we had on the previous slide. It is listed right here. Both of the tables are at the state level. So for example, on this item, you'll see the numbers here. There were 7,221 students throughout the state that took this item, and they got 76% of those students got the item correct. And again, I listed on the bottom of this slide the item number that is listed. So what's circled here is the same as that question ID on the data files. All right, for grades and contents that have short answer or extended response items that were released, there will be information on the Kentucky portal in addition to the test book and combined stats. That additional information will include anchor sets, practice sets, qualification sets, and the annotation form. Again, if you refer to that Kentucky released items information document, there's more information is provided on the details of what all of those various sets in the annotation form, what all that means, and how they are used in the scoring. So this is the grade 7 reading. This is the first grade in reading that has the anchor sets, practice sets, qualification sets, and the annotation form. If you remember on the grade 3, it just had the released items and the combined stats. So in the next slides, we'll go through and show you where you can find the question ID on the anchor sets, the practice sets, the qualification sets, and the annotation form. So the anchor set, when you click on anchor set, again, it's going to open a PDF that contains the anchor set used in scoring the student responses. The question ID or item number, again, those are the same, will be on the first page below the content and grade for the item selected. In the example here, the item number is the RE925656243. Again, this will match the question ID on the data files. Next, if you click on an annotation form, you will open a PDF that contains the annotations regarding the associated anchor sets and practice sets. The question ID will be on the first page, below the content and grade for the item selected. One thing to note on the annotation form, the grade is added to the question ID after the letters and before the numbers. So again, in our example here, the question ID is the same as the previous, but you will see here the grade 07 is actually listed after the RE, but before the actual number, the 925656243. So that's just one thing to note on here is the grade is listed. Next, if you click on a practice set, again, you're going to open up a PDF that contains the actual student responses that the scorer used to practice scoring. Again, the question ID will be on the first page below the grade for the item selected. Similar to the annotation form, on the practice set, the grade is added between the letters and before the numbers on the item number. So we have the same question ID that we had before. And again, you will see the grade 07 between the RE and the 925656243 listed here. Next, we have the qualification set. Again, once you click on a qualification set, you will open a PDF that has the actual student responses that the scorers had to score in order to qualify to score each item. The question ID will be on the first page below the qualification set for the item selected. Again, on the qualification set, the grade is added in the question ID. So it's between the letters and the numbers. Again, sticking with the same question ID that we had on the previous slides, you will see the grade 07 listed after RE and before the 925656243. So again, that question ID and the item number are the same. All of that on the material on the Kentucky portal and the data file. You should be able to link all of those numbers up to look at the various stats. All right, this slide, we just have some contact information. If you have questions, you can call the Pearson Help Desk. They will take your question, get it to us. We will get you an answer and get back to you as soon as you can. You can also contact the Office of Assessment and Accountability with questions. Also, we are sending these training out ahead of time, and I believe at the end of the February DAC training meetings, we will be having a Q&A session to go over any questions that folks may have regarding the spring 2022 released item training. Thank you.